Hey there, the goal of this lesson is to teach you how to name cycloalkenes. A cycloalkene is a cyclical structure that has one or more double bonds, and the cycloalkenes we're going to name are only going to have one double bond. So here are some cycloalkenes on the screen here, and with the cycloalkanes, whenever we had two things attached, we had to number each of the carbons. And with an cycloalkene, we always have to number the carbons. And one of the rules is that the number 1 and the number 2 carbon have to jump across that double bond. So if this is the double bond, either this one has to be the number 1 and this one has to be the number 2, or this one has to be the number 1 and this one has to be the number 2. So the numbers 1 and 2 carbons have to jump across that double bond. And our goal is to have the lowest numbers possible. So if we look at this first one here, we have 5 carbons in a cyclical structure, and our double bond is right here. So this has to be my 1 and my these have to be my 1 and my 2 carbons. So I'm going to have this one be my number 1 because I have a methyl group there, and that will give me the lowest number. So I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a methyl group there, and I have a methyl group attached to the number 3 carbon. So the name for this would be 1, 3 dimethyl cyclopentene. So 1,3 dimethyl cyclopentene. If we look at this one right here, we have 4 carbons, and my number 1 and my number 2 carbon have to cross the double bond. Now let's look at what happens if this is my 1, this is my 2, and this is my 3. Or if this is my 1, this is my 2, and this is my 3, then this becomes my 4. So I want to choose that branch to be on the lowest possible carbon, the lowest number. So I need to choose the one in which the branch is on the number 3 carbon. So I'm going to get rid of the blue numbering scheme there. And I have an ethyl group here. So the name of this becomes 3-ethyl cyclobutene. Okay. In the bottom one, I have a cyclopentene. I have 5 carbons, and my number 1 and my number 2 carbon have to jump across the double bond. In order to give me the lowest number, I'm going to have that be my number 1, that be my number 2, and this one be my number 3. If I did go the other way, this branched carbon would be my number 1, 2, would be my number 5 carbon, and we don't want that. So here we have a chloro group, and here we have an ethyl group. So the name of this would be 3-chloro, and I'm choosing chloro because C is alphabetically in front of ethyl, E. 3-ethyl, and I'm just going to go on to the next line here, cyclopentene. And then on my last one, my numbers have to be as small as they possibly can, and if I can have a 1 in a name, that's what my preference is going to be. So I'm going to start with my 1 here and have my 1 and 2 jump across the double bond in that direction, so that I have a 1 in my name. So the name of this, I have an ethyl group here and a chloro group here, would be 1-ethyl, 5-chloro, cyclo, there are 6 carbons, hexene. And I hope I didn't make any mistakes. So that concludes my lesson on how to name cycloalkenes, and you'll get a chance to practice with some of these in a practice. Thanks for watching.